out. How's it feel? Right.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's sort of pre-season's always a great period because you're working on things and you certainly get an opportunity to practice a couple of things you've done in the Amy Cup, and now some of the stuff's just really popular. So yeah, it's exciting. We're going to see a couple of new looks about how we're going to want to play, but more importantly, we get to go up against really good oppo in Carlton. Have shown some really good things under Vossi of what he's brought. So it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Couple of new skippers. Are they both going to be out there?
Yeah, at this stage, Dylan's responded really well, actually. We probably thought he'd be some form of doubt for the round one game, but he trained strongly Sunday, and he'll hopefully train strongly again today. So both those boys will be out there. Nank won't train today. He's in health and safety protocols, but he'll be available to play on the Thursday, which is a great result.
Can you give us a bit of a rundown on some of the other guys that sort of had a bit of an injury cloud, like the Lamberts, Grahams, Floston, these sort of guys?
Yeah, Graham will train today, so he'll be a chance. We'll just assess how he's moving and how he responds to training. Lambert is starting a training block now, so we saw some surgeons, had a couple of conversations, but we're going to push through, and Lammy's keen to push through, and hopefully he's not too far away, but we'll wait and see how he responds to training. And Nick had a bit of a setback, so he'll probably miss a couple of the early rounds, which is a little bit disappointing because he's such an important player, but we want to make sure when he comes back he's right to go. It's been a little bit of a challenging injury that we had a little bit of difficulty with, but he will respond hopefully well and be back in the early rounds sometime.
Anyone else that's out of contention for a couple of nights' time?
I don't think so.
You started your premiership run here with one tall forward. It seems as if you're going with at least three. Could you just explain the thinking?
Well, it just all form. Soldo's basically like a new recruit for us. Really didn't play at all last year, and we feel we play our best footy where both him and Nank are playing in the ruck. And then we've got, Noah Bolter that's a bit of a, can play both ends. So we've trained him as a forward this year. With the eye of what he can possibly offer. That's not to say that some stages he won't play down back, but it's always good to have options as a coach where you can flick the magnets and push a guy forward or push a guy back when you need him. But we're really excited. Plus bringing in Robbie Tarrant certainly helped with a bigger body down there also. The emergence of Josh Gibcus, obviously our first round pick, has also allowed us to move a few things around. So we've just got to make sure they're all playing well and pulling their weight. So it's a good, exciting thing for us to see. We haven't played with three before, but we'll probably get a good look at come Thursday night.
Is Gibcus factoring for round one at all?
He is. He'll train today, and if he gets through training, it'll be a very, very good chance. We're really excited about what he brings. He's going to be young. He'll do some things that will amaze us, and he'll obviously learn from experience as well. So he's a long-term player for us that we're really excited about.
What's the view on not having the season open up?
Oh, I think it's fine. I think at the end of the day, we still get to play Thursday night, which is going to be a big game regardless. It's just outstanding to have fans back, to be honest. We sort of feel like we haven't played in front of them for 2 years, so it's just rewards for them. And I know Bulldogs in Melbourne have got the Wednesday night game, but it's just outstanding, I think, for the industry at whole. We're going to have some big crowd numbers back at footy, and that's the most important thing from my point of view.
From what you've seen of Robbie Tarrant, do you expect him to make a big impact and a huge difference in the back?
Oh, I think he'll get better and better as the season progresses. People sort of forget he's come from one system and he's trying to implement another that's a little bit different than what he played. And I sort of spoke from experience. When we brought players in, it does take him a little bit of time to get back to their very best footy playing within a system that he's unfamiliar with. His first game against Geelong, he was a bit apologetic about, but then he moved forward versus Hawthorn, and we expect him to take another big step versus Carlton this week. He's just an A1 bloke and an A1 player from our point of view. We're really excited and very fortunate to have him.
Where are the expectations at going into the season? Given there's been a lot of talk about, you might be refreshed after having a little bit longer break. Do you feel that way now that you actually have played some games?
Yeah, I think so. I think all 17 other clubs are exactly the same. Expectations for everyone are high. We're no different. We expect to play well. We expect to win some games along the way. We expect to play a Richmond style of game that probably was a little bit foreign to us last year, and that excites us. We've done a hell of a lot of training over summer, recapturing our DNA, what we thought we lost. So we've just got to make sure we bring it and understand that we're going up against some really, really good sides along the way. But if we play our very best, we'll beat more sides than we don't.
Do you reflect much on 2016 with this finals and then Premier Team competition?
Yeah, you always reflect. Some things even last year, we look at our training and how we went about that. And You know, obviously it was a reduced time frame, obviously from winning the flag to the start of the season, and there's some things that we didn't train. You know, our fundamentals of our game, which is I've documented before, we didn't train heavily enough, and funnily enough, it's the one thing I think we didn't execute anywhere near to the level of our ability. So that we went to work on that this year, and hopefully we start to see the dividends of that. You know, a contested ball, our tackle numbers back up to where they need to be to get our game up and going again.
Is there a certain pressure release as well that comes from being the hunted for so long and now you are the hunter again?
A little bit, yeah. I suppose, you know, once again, our expectations are high, so we expect to play, you know, some good footy for a long period of time. But, you know, there's some sides that have gone past us. There's no question, no doubt about that. So we've got to make sure we continue to play our very best footy and put our best foot forward. And, you know, the greatest thing about an AFL coach and all coaches, you're always trying to be the underdog. And we are that this year, so that's our challenge.
You mentioned Nanks in the health and safety protocols. Obviously, there's a top-up rule in place. Are there any interesting names on your top-up list, and what's your thoughts on it in general?
I'm going to be completely honest here. I couldn't tell you one name on our top-up list, to be perfectly honest. I think they went in last night, didn't they? So, look, we've got some wonderful players at our VFL level. I'm pretty sure they'll be all the guys on there, and yeah, but hopefully we don't have to dive too far into them or in them at all. So, yeah.
Without going too much in it, Nank, has he been away from the club for the past 7 days or so?
Yeah, he. When did he go in? Was it Wednesday? Last Wednesday. So he. Well, no, because he's in lockdown. So he's running circles around the house. I think bouncing the balls off the wall. You can imagine what his house is like. He'd be running through walls, and hopefully his house needs a bit of demo work because I'm probably tipping he's be fired up when he gets out. So yeah, it's going to be a challenge, but I'm sure all clubs are going through it at this stage, so we'll work our way through it.
Peggy stepping down, end of a cherished era for the club.
Yeah, oh, she's been a star, and you know it's going to be a loss for us. Someone else will step up and fulfil the role, but yeah, Peggy's been a wonderful ambassador not only for our footy club but the AFL in general. Been a forefront of, you know, what the game has become and what the game will continue to be. And you know, it's going to be a sad loss for our club. She won't be lost to us, obviously, but it is sad to see her stepping down. But she's done a wonderful job, been a wonderful supporter of ours and me personally. And yeah, I look forward to hopefully we give her a season to celebrate as her last.